NSJT, no secrets, just truth. Jazrael Emil Kavan. I stand in the shadow of the Almighty, hoping that the residue of his garment, the residue of his footprints, the residue of his handprints, the residue of his power, his grace, his mercy, and his love will fall upon me. In the shadow of the Almighty, I depend on wisdom, his wisdom to guide me. In the shadow of the Almighty, I stand upright. In the shadow of the Almighty, I shall not fear my enemies. I shall not fear my coming nor my going. I remember what he said in the hour of wisdom. The shadow of the Almighty was great and strong. So therefore, I began my teaching of wisdom in his shadow. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep your heart in line with my commandments. For there will be prolonged life, many years, and bring you to prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. One more time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with your first fruit of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will run over the new wine. In other words, it shall overflow. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves. As a father, the son he delights in. Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better return than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you can desire can compare with her. Long life in her right hand, in her left hand are the riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Those who lay hold on the will be blessed. By wisdom, the Lord laid the earth's foundation. Here we go. By wisdom, the oldest spirit there is of this world. As I said so many times in my teaching, that wisdom is what the Lord used to create the earth. It says it here in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 19. By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundation. By understanding he set the heavens in place. By knowledge the deepness were divided, and the clouds that dropped the dew. My son, preserve sound judgment and discernment. Do not let them out of your sight. They will be life for you, an ornament to your grace around your neck. Then you will go on your way in safety, and your foot will not stumble, and you lie down. You will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster or ruin to overtake you, or the ruin of those who are wicked. For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being snared. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it. When it is in your power to act, do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I'll give it tomorrow, when you have it now with you. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Do not carry envy a violent man, or choose any of his ways, for the Lord detests and perverse man. For the Lord detests a perverse man, but take the upright to his confidence. The Lord curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He mocks proud mockers, but he gives grace and humble to the wise to inherit honor. But fools he hold up in shame. We must remember who we are, for he has told us to be strong in his name. He has told us that through wisdom that we shall always prosper, that we shall have prosperity in our life, that we cannot fail in our doings. He has asked us to offer the fruit of our hearts, the harvest of our labor, the goodness of our deeds. In the shadow of the Almighty, he has left us with the Holy Spirit there is that created this earth and its foundation, and that is wisdom. He has allowed us to be able to have understanding by which he set the heavens. He has allowed us to have knowledge by which he divided the deepness and allowed the clouds to form. He has allowed us discernment and judgment of our own ways, not the ways of others, but our own ways. We have to remember that that's who we belong to is God. We have to remember the only thing that we can judge is ourselves. The only thing that we have power to control is ourselves. But he also reminds us not to turn our backs on our neighbors. Give them what we have now when they ask. And you say, who is my neighbor? It is that person who asks for a favor. It is that person who is struggling and it is determined to be able to rise above the situation they are in. They just need a little bit of help. He told us to give them. He said, do not tell your neighbor, come back later, or I'll give it to you tomorrow when now you have it with you. Do not plot against your neighbor. Although your neighbor may not be able to see you for the righteous that you are, see you for the saint that you are, see you for the prophet that you are, see you for the son and daughter of the living God, see you as the son and daughter of Adam and Eve. They may not be able to, but that does not mean that we plot against our neighbor and wish them downfall. Do not accuse a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. That's telling us not to lie for our benefit, our gain, to see any type of revenge or type of get back. We must stand in the shadow of the Almighty, the protection of God, the grace of God, the liberty of God, the prosperity of God. We must reside in his shadow because he comes first. He walks the path that we want to follow in. We must remember there is only one that leads, and that is him. We must remember that when he speaks, we must listen. When he gives us a commandment, we must follow. We must remember that we hold deeply the knowledge of God, because his knowledge is fruit to our bare tree. His knowledge is wisdom to our naked soul and clothing. His discernment is true and accurate upon us. I say to you, be not afraid of thy coming and thy going. For he has told us so many times that he neither slumbers nor sleeps. He has told us too many times that he is the power of love, that he is the power of grace, that he approves of us following in his shadow, for he is the shepherd of the lost. He is the shepherd of the blind. He is the shepherd of the deaf. He is the shepherd of the motherless and the fatherless and the voiceless. He is our shepherd. He is the greatness of who we are. No matter how long we sit in our lazy ways, we have to begin to wake up and move in a direction. We have to begin to wake up and process the world as it is and realize that this world is not what God intended. He did not intend for us to be at each other's throats. He did not intend for us to be jealous of each other based on materialistic things. He did not intend for there to be homeless or hungry children or lost people. He expected us to be a nation of God. He expected us to be a nation of him. He expected us to follow in his path, to be allowed to be free, to be allowed to be more than just a voice.